Roll up, step right this way. It's the wackiest show on earth. It's the Canberra Clown Show. As we know, our favourite comedy clown, Al Bozo, loves to steal his act, draw his inspiration from classic American comedy acts, such as this one, wacky turn-of-the-century West Wing joker Donnie Rumsfeld.
There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns, the ones we don't know we don't know.
Brilliant. And this week, Al Bozo came up with his own version of that classic side-splitting act called I'm Doing What I'm Doing, Not What I'm Not Doing. Laugh a minute stuff.
Would you rule out changes to negative gearing and property taxes this term or next?
Well, what we're doing is doing the legislation that we have before the Senate. So I talk about what we're doing, not what we're not doing, and what we're doing is trying to get through that legislation.
And what is it precisely Al Bozo has not been doing? Why, he's not been asking Treasury to model changes to negative gearing and capital gains because the nation's going broke. Sorry, not going broke. That's what he's been not doing. Fortunately, Treasury officials are bright enough to understand that what they are doing is what they are not doing. Because, well, they're just so full of ideas they can't help themselves coming up with ideas they are not coming up with.
But just to confirm, Prime Minister, your government has asked Treasury for modelling?
No, I didn't confirm that. Treasury, I'm sure, like other departments, do a range of proposals, policy, ideas.
Of course they do, yes, it's just the boffins coming up with ideas all by themselves, nothing to do with Al Bozo and Chalmers. But hang on, hasn't Albo pulled this stunt once before? Yes, indeed, those with long memories will know that he has. After promising the same thing about changes to your superannuation, you know, they're just ideas, nothing to do with us, and we're never going to do them anyway. They'll never happen. And then, hey, presto, they did happen. What a magician.
Hamish, a whole range of bodies, including the Grattan Institute and others, have put out various ideas in this debate. They're the ones that are out there on the debate. We've had no changes. We're not here announcing changes.
Today I'm announcing that earnings on super balances above $3 million will have a concessional rate of 30% rather than 15%.
Brilliant, just like that. Meanwhile, not to be outdone, everybody's favourite energy and climate clown, Chris Bowen, Bobo Bowen, took to social media this week to demonstrate that you can recycle his horrible windmills into equally horrible windmill shoes. Or as one wag put it by satirising the footage, into clown shoes.
Well, I don't normally talk about the shoes I'm wearing on social media, but these shoes are made from recycled wind blades. Now, there's a myth out there that somehow renewables can't be recycled, when in fact around 85% of what's in a wind turbine can be recycled. They're mainly made from aluminium, steel and copper. And increasingly, they're being recycled into floorboards and even shoes.
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
Oh dear, interestingly, what Bobo Bowen forgot to mention was the fact that you don't need to wait too long to recycle a wind turbine. Sometimes they do it all by themselves. At least according to the Herald Sun they do. Quote, farmers have been warned to watch out for sharp shards of plastic flying off Golden Plains wind farm turbines. Victorian farmers have been warned to take extra safety precautions at their properties after sharp, serrated edging began flying off the state's new green energy wind turbines. End of quote. As if it's not hard enough being an Aussie farmer, now you've got the windmills attacking you and your family on your own land. And how are these windmills working out for generations? An abundance of renewable energy for Australians, perhaps? It appears that proud renewables in South Australia had to switch on the diesel generations again this week, and maybe that's because the wind turbines failed to ensure enough power to meet peak time demand. By the way, if anybody wonders why the Albanese government will be a one-term circus act and get unceremoniously dumped by the electorate at the next election, just remember these fine words in the run-up to the last election.
Labor has real, lasting plans for cheaper electricity, cheaper childcare, cheaper mortgages.
Sorry, what was that again, Albo?
Cheaper electricity, cheaper mortgages, cheaper electricity, cheaper mortgages.
Cheaper electricity, cheaper mortgage sounds like misinformation to me.